Yo people, my name is Matt Lack, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be putting aside an absolutely cooked pair of Jordan 1s that I made back in 2021. As you can see, they are covered in dirt, scuffs and creases. I picked up the pair in 2019, it used to be the gym red pair, but I think it's time to let them go. They are well loved. So I'm going to be replacing them with a Jordan 1 85 high in black and white. I wasn't really feeling the base pair, so I'm going to make a couple adjustments. Let's get into it. So I picked up this pair back in February and I've been sitting on it until now. I wasn't really feeling the bright white panels and it gives me Panda dunk vibes. I'm not really feeling it. So I'm going to try and stain the midsole and age the collar to give it a vintage look. I'm going to start off by taping the midsole and the outsole with electrical tape just because I don't want to get any stain on them and create any unnecessary hassle. Next, I'm going to hit the midsole using some acetone and a cotton swab. Midsoles don't normally have any protective coating on them, but I'll still wipe them down in case there's any glue residue or dust I need to remove. This is just so I can get an even layer of the stain when I'm brushing it on. Now that's done, I'm going to stain the midsole using a mixture of Angelus Brown Dye, a 40 volume oxidant cream and Angelus Neutral Dye, just to dilute it. I'm not too sure on the exact ratio I use when mixing this, because it took a bit of trial and error and I did spill some in the process, but I would like to say it's something like 50% cream, 25% brown dye and 25% neutral dye. Now I've finished that, I'm just going to wrap the midsole in some cling film and leave it to sit for 24 hours. Fast forward, I actually ended up leaving them for about 3 days, but they should be perfectly fine still. I'm just going to hit the midsole with acetone one last time to remove any excess stain and unevenness in the dye. The midsole is now completely finished and I think it looks sick. I'm hoping the stain will hold up. I wiped it down with acetone like twice, so it should be pretty bulletproof. So now I'm going to start on giving the collars a slightly distressed look by sanding them down with a coarse sandpaper and then going in with a fine sandpaper just to smooth it out so it can be painted on. More acetone now. This is to remove any remaining leather top coat and dust that I just created from sanding. The collars are all roughed up, but they're still very bright white, so I'm going to paint a thin layer of Creme Angelus paint just to make it look a little off-white. So the collars weren't looking exactly how I wanted them to, so I decided to use a bit of this stain on them as well. So finally, I'm going to swap out the factory black laces and put in some off-white laces just to give it that finishing touch. So before I get into the on foot, I just want to say thank you guys for watching this far. You could like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below of what you think. That'd be sick. But until the next video, peace.